Thank you all so much for being here today. I am Morgan Canaday, and I have had the honor and privilege of serving as your president this year. I first wanted to point out how incredible that video was that staff put together. This year has been full of a lot of change and distraction, but that video is a true testament to how much we've still been able to achieve and give back to our community regardless of the amount of change this year. So great job to all of you for that. Slow clap, thank you. We are not going to bombard or overwhelm you with paperwork today. On each of your tables there is a QR code. You can scan that to get today's program, meeting minutes, and all other paperwork associated with our annual meeting today. I think there might also be a QR code on the slide as well. This year we've made the decision to shorten today. Typically we offer free CE in the afternoon. Instead of doing that here and offering 3 CE here today, we will be offering 6 free CE credit hours for you at GAAR tomorrow. The morning session is already sold out, but we still have the afternoon session that is available to register on ethical behavior in a wired world. So if you need CE or just love free CE, please join us at GAAR tomorrow for that, but register today before that session sells out as well. Also on your tables is the 2025 passport. So take a look at that and see everything that we have planned for you next year. Next, if you guys didn't already see in the hallway outside, is our angel tree. Janie Gilmore Daniels does a fantastic job every year. Yes, yes. Thank you, Janie, of organizing that. If you're unfamiliar with it, talk to her, see the program outside, but she offers us the ability to give back to unhoused and homeless youth within APS and give them some holiday cheer and gifts. So it's such a worthy cause, and please consider giving to that today. Another opportunity to give back today is to our Realtor Fund. That is an endowment fund that we created in 2011 as a way to give back to our local community and charities. That fund has given over $500,000 back to local charities in our community already. We have $1.8 million in that fund right now invested in the Albuquerque Community Foundation. The more you give, the more change we're able to make. For every $50 that you have donated at any point throughout this year, you will be entered into a drawing to win a $500 Southwest Airlines gift card. If you have not already donated, or you want to increase your odds of winning that gift card, please go see our Realtor Fund table out in the hall for your chance to win. Now, at this time, I would like to invite the following individuals to join me on stage for the State of the Association. GAAR CEO Kent Cravens, GAAR President-elect Christopher Shane Tanner, Southwest MLS President Sherry Fowler, Southwest MLS President-elect Kathy Colvin.
All righty, good morning. So let me say, Morgan has had a rocky year, to say the least, and has weathered this storm incredibly. This entire leadership team has done an amazing job of navigating some pretty tough times and rough waters. And I would, till you're better paid, So the State of the Association is just a quick run through on some relevant issues that are important and timely. And I'll just start with Morgan. We started this a few years back, and it seems pretty popular. Y'all keep coming back, so we can get this done in about 15 minutes or so. Morgan, how have members adapted to the recent rule changes, and what have been the biggest challenges?
I think, more than ever this year, realtors have proven how adaptive and resilient we are, compared to any other industry, our willingness to change is what we do best. And I have been so impressed with this industry, our membership's ability to adapt. I do have two big concerns moving forward. Those that have not been as willing to adapt, those that instead of running their business in the spirit of this settlement to find the loopholes, my biggest concern is that the DOJ is still watching, and they do have the ability to impact more change on our industry. And they have made clear that if they get their way, any offers of compensation will not be allowed, meaning a buyer will either have to pay for their own representation or go through the process unrepresented. And everyone in this room knows the impact that that would have on our first-time homebuyers, our low-income homebuyers, our minority homebuyers, and no one wants to see that. So please do right by our membership, avoid that target on our back. The other big thing that I want to say that I'm equally, if not more, concerned about right now, I have been inundated with phone calls the last few weeks from consumers, members of the public, fellow realtors, the media, about deceptive practices pertaining to buyer-broker agreements, and buyers locking into a longer term than what they intended. That type of perceived deception will not only hurt your business, but our perception as an industry. I know that it is a consumer's responsibility to read and understand a contract before they sign, but we as realtors have the responsibility to be honest and ethical, and that needs to come first. So please make sure that as you're adapting to these new changes, you are also still honoring our code of ethics. Sorry, that was my soapbox.
Well, and because we're doing one question per, if any of you have additions, comments on that same topic, feel free to make it a free-for-all if you want.
I'll speak up about this. I have a new buyer that was referred to me by a realtor in Las Cruces, and we talked on the phone. I scheduled a Zoom even though he didn't want to, and I went over the buyer's broker agreement with him. He had been looking at houses here in Albuquerque and worked with 3 other realtors, and no one had, in the last month, and no one had told him about a buyer's broker agreement. He had not signed anything, and he was completely unaware of the rule and how things work. But so I know we're probably preaching to the choir because you all are here, so you're engaged. You want to know what's happening at your association. I will tell you that is completely unacceptable. And those of you that are here, go back to your offices and tell your colleagues, don't do that. That's why we got in a lawsuit in the first place, is because buyers were confused, sellers were confused, because nobody went over the contracts with them. So please, we beg of you to do this because they're watching. They're watching all over the United States. And I know, like I said, I'm preaching to the choir, but please follow the rules. Learn the buyer's broker agreement at home. Practice it on your spouse or your kids or somebody so you know how to present that to your buyers. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. Feel free to call me, too. You can practice on me if you like. Next up, Shane, let's go to you. What are the most significant trends that you're seeing in your market these days?
Yeah, so regarding some of the trends, obviously we all know that inventory is still light, right? And rates have not dipped back down into the 2s or 3s, nor do we expect them to. So obviously we know that that can affect buyers' abilities to purchase and things like that. So that's continuing to be somewhat of an issue. Other trends though, honestly, I feel like a lot of people thought that the sky was gonna fall with this NAR settlement. Clearly that has not happened. Things are okay. We're gonna press on, we're gonna adapt and overcome, we're gonna complete the mission. That's what we do. So I don't think that, you know, it's a huge thing and it's something that we have to adapt to. So I'm not saying it's nothing, but I am saying that it's not something that we can't overcome and see the light at the end of the tunnel and end up even better, more professional, and elevate our entire industry through the NAR settlement. So that's some of the trends I've seen. Honestly, what I've seen as well is a focus on value proposition. So NAR is, you know, a lot of, I mean, you guys probably know that some MLSs are saying, you know what, maybe we don't need NAR. and we've seen that nationally. That's not our stance. I feel like NAR does provide a ton of value to us, but it's very important that our members see that value and that we, as Southwest MLS and as GAAR, are expressing that value very regularly. You know, the value that we bring at a national level, state level, local level. Each of us have different priorities that we're focusing on the value that we bring to our members. So we need to showcase that regularly, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff out there that we have available to us that's not getting utilized at the rate that it could be utilized. So that's definitely a trend. You know, we get to see the numbers on how many people have used Forewarn, you know, how many people are using Rental Beast, all these things that we've invested into, how are they getting utilized and how often, and what can we do to increase that or cut it and bring something that's going to be utilized at a greater rate. So those are some of the trends that I've seen lately, at least, and something that I really want to focus on.
Yeah, thanks, and we'll get into some of that in just a minute. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Trends? Thank you. And I would agree with Morgan and Shane both that this group is the most adaptable to new market norms, which is what we're facing really, is new norms in the market, because you're not going to see 2.5% interest rates probably ever again in our lifetimes. I've been watching different YouTube videos on that subject, and it's just not going to happen. So we've just got to get used to that. But you look back in history, the first house I took a mortgage out on was 17.5%, and that shows you how old I am. But so, and that was a norm. But again, you marry the house and not you marry the house and date the rate, right? So, Kathy, let's what Shane was saying kind of points to membership and some of the things that are going on at NAR. You know, people are a little bit kind of funny about, well, what's this going to really do to our membership? Can you describe what you see nationally, because you're plugged in, also what's happening locally with membership numbers?
Sure, thank you for the question. We are still holding steady. NAR still has 1.5 million members, and I will tell you, Nick Fowler, who's awesome at keeping track of things, we're trending right where we were last year on numbers for GAAR. And so we're not seeing a drop yet. I do anticipate somewhat of a little bit of a drop, and we budgeted for that. NAR budgeted for that. NAR budgeted for a 10% decrease in membership, and they haven't seen it yet. So not sure what's going to happen. And it's surprising, despite all the scrutiny we've received from the DOJ and all the lawsuits. There are some states where they're seeing a drop, and then other states are increasing. So let's see, a handful of state associations saw membership grow 5% or more between April and December, including Massachusetts, California, Georgia, Arkansas, and Washington State Association of Realtors. So they saw an increase. A decrease, they saw a little bit of a decrease in New York State and Virginia. Those are the only two, but the increases outweighed the decreases. So we're still, like I said, holding steady at about 1.5 million and holding steady here at GAAR.
Yeah, we really are. And if you look at it, you're right, we have budgeted conservatively over the past several years. Even when we're in good times, we budget conservatively on the low side of upward trending numbers. When it's downward trending, we kind of go on the downward side of downward trending numbers. We're budgeted for a 10% decrease in 2025. Not to say that we want it to be there at all, but we will probably see at the end of December, which is fast approaching, probably around a 2.5% decrease at the most. So the way the numbers are coming in now, and that's just a good spot for GAAR to be in. So let's move along. Sherry?
Okay, can I chime in on
Oh,
that
please
one?
do, yeah.
So, yeah, I love the fact that we've got Nick Fowler, and I'll tell you why. Nick is very fiscally conservative, and that keeps us all in a good position. So even at a national and other association levels, there is not always an abundance of fiscal conservatism or responsibility, and that ends up rolling downhill, and there's emergent things that have to happen. So thankfully, because we've got Nick staying on top of that, and along with Polacos and all of those great things who do our books and make sure that we're audited properly, that we're remaining in a really good position. So thank you to Nick. So I don't know if you guys know Nick, but
Nick, maybe in the hallway, I'm not sure. Yeah, give him a shout out when you see him. He does a tremendous job. Good. His why in life is mastery, and that's a really rare why. When you think about mastery, they need to know every detail of everything, and that's just how Nick is.
A spreadsheet within a spreadsheet within a spreadsheet within a spreadsheet.
And how they all tie together, it's phenomenal. So, okay, Sherry, let's move on and talk about MLS a little bit. What Southwest MLS benefits, tools, et cetera, are you most excited about, or that members might not know about?
We have such an arsenal of tools that most people don't even touch the tip of the iceberg, but we've definitely got some great things going on. Some trends nationwide with technology, virtual and augmented realty technology, which helps a person virtually, more so than a virtual tour, put themselves in a property and walk through it like it would be like a live showing. Artificial intelligence continues to be all the rage with chat bots that can answer questions, and I think GAAR's even thought about implementing some of that for our membership. Better mobile apps, which that always helps. Social media management tools, we have been looking into a particular one, and since Richard left, I'm not sure exactly where we are on that, but that's another tool we're looking at. And 3D printing. While still in its early stages, 3D printing is used by realtors to create physical models of properties, making it easier for buyers to visualize the space and its potential. So the sky's the limit with things changing every day and with technology advancing. We'll be right there on the cutting edge, bringing you guys all the new tools as they come.
Morgan, yeah, sure.
As Shane touched on earlier, one of our biggest concerns, both in Southwest MLS and GAAR, I shouldn't say concerns, focus points this year, is ensuring that we are offering the best value proposition possible to our members. So I would like to speak to all of you in this room, but also our whole membership. If you know of a tool or a potential product benefit that you think membership as a whole could benefit from and we should look into either through Southwest MLS or GAAR, please bring that to our attention. We do have incredible committees constantly researching things, but if you think of a tool that we might not be aware of yet, we want to offer you the best possible products to benefit your business and help you succeed. Our doors are always open, and we're always willing to hear that feedback.
Believe it or not, we are partners, right? Kathy?
Yeah, I'd like to add a few things. As far as the MLS, consumers don't understand what the MLS is. That's a problem, and that's also an opportunity. So I pulled some stats that I found interesting. 76% of consumers have no idea how the MLS benefits them. 24% of consumers have an even vague idea of what the acronym MLS means. 25% of people think it's the Major League Soccer. So we as an industry use the MLS every single day, so we understand the importance of it, we get it, but our consumers don't. So it's really important when you're talking about your buyer's broker agreement and meeting with your sellers that you talk about the MLS and how powerful it is. The data is accurate, that's why you get fines and things like that, because it's really important that we keep our data accurate. And we shouldn't be taking the MLS for granted, and I think a lot of people do. A lot of members do. So let's focus on the MLS. We've got a lot of things ahead of us this coming year. The benefits are real and strong, and once you explain it to your consumers, they will get it. I also want to give a shameless plug to ask you all. We got very few requests to be on MLS committees for 2025. We only have 3 committees: policy, compliance, and the technology committee. And so they're fun committees to be on. Well, maybe not compliance, but nonetheless, I like bylaws, so there's something a little bit wrong with me. But the tech and the policy committees, that's where things come from. So I really encourage you to get involved and submit an application to be on one of the MLS committees. We don't waste your time. If we don't have a lot of things on an agenda, we'll just cancel the meeting and move it to the next month. So we definitely will not waste time. Thank you.
Very good. One thing I just want to say before we wrap this up, and thank our panel real quick for that, but is that the people in this room are the people that are going to set the tone for the future. And I would like you all to just visualize what you want your business, your industry to look like 3 to 5 years in the future. And then this group will be the one to initiate that change. So just think about how you want this to look in 3 to 5 years. Visualize that. That's great energy, and that'll be how it turns out. So you've got great leadership, both past and present. And again, want to thank them for being up here, and I want to thank you all for being here today.
Thank you. Before we all get off stage, as I think the majority of the people in this room know, our CEO, Kent Cravens, will be leaving us at the end of this year. Boo, anyone? No? But we just wanted to take this opportunity at his final annual meeting to give you a heartfelt thank you. We do have a token of our appreciation for you. In Kent's 8 years of service, he has gotten us through a national pandemic, a national settlement, a building collapse, the purchase and lease of the building next door, the creation of our event center, both of which are incredible non-dues revenue sources for us. And he's done it all with grace and hasn't lost a single hair on his head over it.
Lost them all of them.
But we cannot thank you enough for your leadership. You have created such an incredible culture, an amazing staff at GAAR that will continue to thrive even after your departure. And I don't think there's a better testament to your leadership than that. So thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you to all of you. It's been an incredible ride. It's a great job. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
I gotta say something for Kent.
Making GAAR great again.
I gotta say, I want to respect everyone's time, but Kent, so Kent, when I came here, I literally didn't know anything, and hopefully I'm slightly farther now because of Kent. But going to, national meetings and just having somebody to talk to and having somebody to bounce ideas off of, nobody's been more there for me through this entire process than Kent. And just a great guy. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right. I will now officially call our 2024 annual business meeting to order. Please join me in welcoming, as he leaves the stage, our President-elect, Christopher Shane Tanner, as he leads us in the Pledge of Allegiance and reviews the GAAR antitrust compliance policy.
Okay, if you'll please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Cool. Thank you. Okay, this is going to be really dry. Sorry, guys. But important, right? We all know this antitrust is super important, especially in this day and age. Okay. All right, so here it is, antitrust compliance policy. The GAAR Southwest MLS antitrust compliance policy applies to officers, directors, employees, and members of GAAR. This policy requires that such individuals be familiar and fully comply with all applicable federal and state antitrust laws in all dealings on behalf of GAAR or Southwest MLS and/or. GAAR facilities will not be used by any officer, director, employee, committee, or member in connection with any anti-competitive or unlawful purpose or unreasonable restraint of trade. Conduct expressly prohibited includes the following: any discussion or effort to directly or indirectly fix, peg, stabilize, raise, lower, or affect prices on commissions, products, advertising, or credit terms. Any discussion of real estate commissions or other fees or specific non-price business practices of any particular members, except in the context of professional standards proceedings. This limitation shall not extend to discussions of methods of operations, maintenance, and similar matters in which cost or efficiency is merely incidental. Any discussion or effort by or among any members, non-members, or competitors to eliminate or limit competition, to divide or allocate territories or customers, or to limit the nature of business carried on or products or services sold or to be sold. Any discussions or effort to engage in any group boycott or concerted refusals to deal. Any discussions or efforts to inquire or disparage the business or trade of anyone. If a topic is raised which appears to involve a violation of antitrust compliance policy at any formal or informal GAAR and/or Southwest MLS meeting, anyone in attendance has the right and all have the duty to interrupt and demand the discussion to be stopped. Those in charge of the meeting are responsible for seeing that this policy is enforced so that the prohibited conduct is stopped immediately. If the prohibited conduct persists, those responsible parties shall terminate the discussion, cancel the remainder of the meeting, and refer the matter to the president and/or GAAR legal counsel for further action to ensure compliance with the antitrust compliance policy. Please remember to adhere to the antitrust compliance policy and follow its guidelines in all of your Realtor business activities.
Thank you, Shane, for that riveting policy read. I would now like to invite our past president, Miss Bridget Gilbert, on stage to join me in an inspirational thought.
This morning, let's take just a, can you guys hear me? Just a moment to honor and remember the realtors that we've lost this year. Their contributions to our communities, their unwavering professionalism, and the relationships they built will not be forgotten. So let's just take one moment. As we come together to begin this meeting, let's take a moment to reflect on the road we've traveled. Excuse me. This past year hasn't been without its challenges, hurdles, we didn't see coming, moments that tested our patience, our strength, and our resolve. But here we are, stronger for it. Together we faced those challenges head on, learned lessons along the way, and celebrated victories, large and small. This is a time to look back and be proud of how we've come, how far we've come, but it's also a time to look ahead. The coming year holds new opportunities, fresh ideas, and the promise of growth. It won't be without its own twists and turns, but we've proven that we can handle whatever comes our way because we don't do it alone. Let's use this moment to center ourselves, to focus on why we're here, and to remind ourselves of what we can accomplish when we work together. With hope in our hearts and a willingness to keep moving forward, there's no limit to what this next chapter can bring.
Thank you, Bridget. I also want to take an opportunity to acknowledge some special guests we have joining us today. If you all could please stand when your name is called to be recognized. NMAR President Colleen Deering. NMAR Incoming President Dan Coleman. NMAR Immediate Past President Hubert Hill. NMAR First Vice President Lois Surrey. And NMAR Central District Vice President, the Kathy Colvin. I also want to acknowledge and invite up onto the stage with me New Mexico Real Estate Commission President Linda DeVlieg Kilman. As she makes her way up, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you. Being president of the New Mexico Real Estate Commission is truly a thankless job. So I want to not only thank you for being here today, but give you a huge thank you for all that you do for our industry. So.
Can y'all see me? You know, the governor usually has like a thing to stand on. Thanks for having me today. It's a very serious conversation that I'd like to have with you all. There's been a lot of talk lately about changes that have happened at the New Mexico Real Estate Commission. And I want to clarify a few things. Some of the frustrations are shared by many of us, including the commissioners. And I want you to know we hear you. Here's what's going on, just a few things. The new phone system set up, very frustrating. Wasn't our idea. Instead of being able to directly reach someone who can answer New Mexico Real Estate Commission specific questions, there is now one general phone number for the entire regulation and licensing department. Now, understand the RLD oversees numerous boards, not just the Real Estate Commission, including body art, dentists, accountants, decorators, etc. This is not something the commission wanted or decided or had a say in. We understand how this makes getting answers difficult, and I use the analogy of trying to call Xfinity and find out about your bill. I'm sure you love doing that, and it doesn't work. The next really serious thing is there are no real estate trained investigators at the Real Estate Commission. That's a bad thing. This was not our choice. The investigators are now shared across boards, none of them with a specialty. And we're going to do everything we can to change this. This has slowed down investigations. It's created challenges for everyone. It's going to affect any of you who have a complaint filed against you to defend it, and anybody in the public who needs to file a complaint. Because we represent the public as commissioners, but we also are trying to enhance professionalism. We're there to protect all the parties that come in front of us. RLD Council has advocated for everyone to get an attorney to decide an answer. If you call up and want a simple question asked, how many inches high does my name have to be on a sign? Or which rule do I look at to determine the answer to a question? RLD Council has said you should get an attorney. That's ridiculous. I don't know what else we're supposed to do if we can't answer simple questions. The difference between the San Antonio and the Santa Fe offices, while the Santa Fe office address is still open, the real decision-making and the San Antonio office is open, but the real decision-making questions and discussions are going on in Santa Fe. They're trying to force the same processes on every board by standardization across all the boards. That's impossible. We are the largest board in RLD, second to barbers and cosmetologists who don't have to get continuing education. Love my hairdresser, but there's a difference. New Mexico Real Estate Commission did not choose this. It's important to know these changes weren't made by us, the commissioners. They were decisions made by RLD, and we are doing our best to get things pushed through. They're not happy with our pushback, and I can understand that. They have a different agenda. I want to thank you all for all of you who attend our meetings, and I would encourage, keep attending the meetings. It's the only way you find out what's going on. We cannot talk to each other between meetings as a collective group. So sometimes the only time we have to discuss things amongst ourselves is at a public meeting. The only time you might have the opportunity to discuss or share your feelings is to attend a public meeting. And so I really thank those who have spoken out. Some of you are in the room who have spoken out at the public meeting. I encourage you to keep doing it. We want RLD to understand it's not just us. It's not just the 5 commissioners that are complaining. It needs to come from you. That's why I'm here, is to please encourage discussions with your commissioners. And I'm going to say this. If you've had trouble getting a hold of somebody with licensing questions, any questions, I want you to document that, and I want you to email them to me. I know I'm asking for a big email box now, but I'm dedicated to getting this solved, and the only way we can do it is through documentation, communication with us as commissioners, so that we can have something solid to take back to the regulatory body. So thanks for your patience for being part of the conversation. I hope it's not the end of the conversation. And while I'm going to say this officially, I'm not speaking for all the commissioners, but I'm pretty sure that they share the same feelings. So I'm going to keep pushing for this, probably to my detriment in some ways, but it's my job that I've been assigned to do. And we don't get paid for this. Oh wait, $45 per meeting. Kirsten didn't get that. So it's a big job to take on. Even if I was paid, I'd be just dedicated to it. Please help you. And send me an email. You can look me up, or it's Linda at realestateinabq.com. So put in the subject line that it's about the commission, and that way I can filter it as well. But I really do, I need it documented, I need y'all to share your feelings, document when you've tried to get a hold of somebody with the magic phone system. It's great. And if you have any questions about anything, don't be afraid to get a hold of me as well. Please leave a message. I don't call people back if you don't leave me a message. So thank you for having me, and thanks for being here.
truly a thankless job, especially with everything that she is trying to navigate through right now. So thank you again, Linda. Yes. I now have the opportunity to invite Miss Kathy Colvin on to the stage. Kathy not only serves as our Central District Vice President, but she's also the chair of RPAC for New Mexico. So please give Kathy a warm welcome.
Thank you, Madam President. All right, so I'm here to talk to you about RPAC. So please don't just put your head down into your phone and check your emails. I will be brief. I just want to talk to you. A lot of people think RPAC is just about candidates, and it's not. It's a lot about issues. So I just want to share a couple of major issues that we've been working on at the national level. I mentioned this last year. We are still working on trying to raise the capital gains exemptions, and we have made some progress on that because it's a bipartisan effort in Washington. And there's a large segment of sellers who want to sell, but they will have to pay tremendous capital gains, and they're not willing to do so. So they're just living in their property and not selling it because of capital gains alone. So we need to continue to work forward on that. As you know, when the settlement agreement came to be, veterans were not allowed to pay for buyer's brokers. So NAR went to bat immediately, like the second day, the minute they found out about it, and they got a temporary approval for veterans to go ahead and be able to pay a buyer's broker. That was just a temporary thing that passed. But now they're trying to make that permanent. So we're working on that. We're working on encouraging commercial to residential conversions. And I think we've seen some of that here in the Albuquerque area. And so they're incentivizing underutilized commercial properties to residential units via tax credit. Such a tax credit would be a triple win for realtors and consumers by shoring up the commercial sector, increasing housing supply, and boosting the economy. Reauthorizing the National Flood Insurance Program. Oh my gosh, that one drives us crazy because they just keep doing bits at a time, little bits, a year, 8 months, 6 months, they renew it. We're trying to get more of a permanent flood insurance. They're also talking about changing that from flood insurance to disaster insurance because, excuse me, we all saw what happened in Ruidoso where they had the fire, and shortly thereafter, here came the torrential rains, and that caused a problem too. So we're trying to see about including those types of unfortunate events with that. But most importantly, one thing that RPAC is working on, or our lobbyists in Washington is working on, is protecting the independent contractor status that we all have. So when I was issues and mobilization chair for NAR, we gave a huge amount of money to New Jersey because they were trying to change that up and make it to where realtors were not independent contractors. We would have to be employees. And that is coming back around. They're looking at that on a national level. And in 2022, they did a survey of the large brokerage firms, the large franchise brokerage firms, and they asked them what would happen if the independent contractor status went away. And they said they would get rid of 85% of the people that work for their company, of their associate brokers. 85%. That's huge. That would really impact our industry. I feel like the FTC has got that on their list of things they want to come after us for. We're kind of hoping, we don't know, nobody knows, with the change of administration, how some of these things are going to play out. If they're going to continue, if they're going to be, maybe put on pause, we're not sure, no one's sure. So, but we'll find out sooner than later because it's coming very soon. So one last shameless plug, as chair of RPAC, we are 45 members short. to reach our goal. And it's not about the money, because we've reached our monetary goal. We need participation, and we're 45 members short participation. And so if you haven't given to RPAC in 2024, I'm asking for just $15, $15. And if you would please consider investing, we would really appreciate it so we can meet our goal. And if you would like one of these sunshades, that's just $5 more. So that's $20. So I would not be a very good Vanna. I'm too short. So please look to Laura Harris, or even myself or Kent or anybody if you would like to donate, and they can process that tomorrow. Thank you all very much.
Thank you for all you do, Kathy. I also want to congratulate you. For those that don't know, Kathy will be the first ever GAAR member to serve at the National Association of Realtors as the Member Engagement Liaison this year. So, thank you. All right, now the real fun stuff. Review and approval of our minutes. On the QR code on your tables, you will have access to the meeting minutes from our 2023 annual meeting. Do I have a motion for approval? Do I have a second? Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? The motion to approve the 2023 minutes passes. Next, we want to do just a very brief financial report on GAAR. Each year, the association undergoes a comprehensive financial audit conducted by Palaco's CPAs. We deeply appreciate their thorough work and dedication to ensuring our financial health and transparency. I am pleased to report that GAAR and its subsidiary, Southwest MLS, are financially strong. We were issued an unmodified opinion, which is the highest and most favorable opinion an organization can receive. There are a few copies of the financial report on your tables, or you can simply scan the QR code for the third quarter financial report. But if you would like a copy of the full audited financial report, please contact our fantastic CFO, Nick Fowler. Now, we have so many members who dedicate their time and talents to volunteering and serving at the association, and we would not be able to function as an association, as a board, without the work being done at the committee level. So I want to recognize all of our committee chairs from 2024. If you chaired a GAAR committee this year, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. At the check-in table in the hall, there is a token of our appreciation for each of you, so please stop by and grab that. Last year, one of our members achieved the elite status of emeritus, and we have not had the opportunity to honor him for that yet. So, if Doug Carlson could please join me on the stage for a moment. Achieving emeritus status is a really significant milestone that reflects a lifetime dedication and service to our industry. To qualify, members must have at least 40 years of membership. Throughout their tenure, emeritus members have made invaluable contributions to the success of our association, not only through their professional work as realtors, but also through volunteering their time and expertise to strengthen our association. As your president, it is my honor to present you with your emeritus pin and a letter of congratulations from our National Association of Realtors president. Thank you so much. If you are an emeritus member in our crowd here today, can you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. Before we move on to the installation of our 2025 board, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the individuals who have dedicated their time to the GAAR Board of Directors. If you have ever served on the GAAR board, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you. We also have several people here today that have not only represented GAAR as directors, but also served as directors at the state and national level as well. If you have served at the state or national level, can you please stand and be recognized? Our industry would not thrive or have the success that we have without your volunteer work, so thank you so much. At this time, I'd also like to thank our outgoing directors. If you could please come join me on stage for a small token of our appreciation. Bridget Gilbert, Anika Nunez, and Sean Remington. I'm sure Laura's somewhere with the camera. Maybe not. No? Okay. I want to give a special thank you and shout out to the Bridget Gilbert. She was standing on this stage last year as an outgoing director, thinking she was done with all of us, and she very graciously stepped back in halfway through this year to fill a vacancy, and I cannot thank you enough for your support and service this year, so thank you. All right, and now I will pass the mic over to Kent Cravens.
Thank you, Morgan. Congratulations, everybody, and thank you all for your service to our organization. Really, really, really great organization. Please join me in welcoming New Mexico Association of Realtors President Colleen Deering and incoming NMAR President Dan Coleman.
Those lights are really bright. Goodness sakes. So for those of you that know me, you're going to find this funny. I'm not going to talk very, very long because I'm about to lose my voice. Okay, so I just want to thank all of the volunteers at the state level and the local level of the time you've given both to your boards, to the Realtor family, and to all of your charities and your benevolent associations. Without you, we would not be able to keep the doors open. So thank you very much. 2024 has been a interesting year, to say the least, but I do want to call out a couple of successes that we've had in the face of tragedy. As we all know, the Rio Doso fires and the flooding in Roswell, we were able to secure Realtor Relief Funds, and we're able to give out over $110,000 through Realtor Relief Fund to people affected by it. And in addition, that's the money that you contribute on a national level. But in addition, New Mexico's Benevolent Fund has given away $110,000. So, and here's my shameless plug. If you happen to be so inclined, that fund is getting quite low. So if you have a few dollars and want to donate to something, the Benevolent Fund is how you help realtors specifically that are in a hardship position. So I just want to thank the members of the New Mexico Association Board. Many of you serve on that. I also want to thank the members of the Executive Committee and especially call out to Hubert Hill, who is retiring off the committee this year, and Kathy Colvin, who is moving on to bigger and better and greater things. And if anybody doesn't know, it's her birthday today. I also want to say thank you to Morgan. She's been a great support during this year. It's been great serving with you. Thank you all very much, and on to Dan Coleman.
All right, thank you for inviting me to be here. It's an honor to be here to perform the installation of the GAAR 2025 Board of Directors and Officers. But before I do that, my platform for next year as MAR President is educate, engage, and empower. I think now more than ever it's extremely important that all of our members are educated in what is an association and what does an association do for you. I think more than ever it's important that we get our members engaged and that they become a part of it. And I think it's more important now than ever that we empower our members, because it's you that drive us into the future and that help us to make decisions and to move this thing forward. So having said that, just remember, educate, engage, and empower. Now, it is my honor to be here. As we approach the end of 24 and look forward to 25, I'd like to share some thoughts on why you as incoming leaders are so critically important, not just to the Greater Albuquerque Association, but to our evolving industry and our state's growing economy. Now more than ever, you shoulder a responsibility to lead by example in ensuring that the Realtor brand and title are synonymous with professionalism, knowledge, and invaluable client-centric expertise. As part of the strongest professional association infrastructure in New Mexico, your leadership will be instrumental in keeping the voice for private property loud, clear, and respected by the consumers we serve, our state legislators, and local civic leaders. Your leadership role extends far beyond economic development and advocacy. Realtors must be committed to maintaining a diverse, equitable, inclusive profession that reflects New Mexico's remarkable ethnic, cultural, and ideological patchwork quilt. Perhaps most importantly, just as you stand on the shoulders of those who have served before you and previously led this association, so future leaders will stand on your shoulders. Thus, each of you must ensure that we are identifying, mentoring, and cultivating the next generation of Realtor leaders so that we may continue to serve as the backbone of our state's economy for generations to come.
Thank you, Dan. Incidentally, y'all, I have my sandals and my shorts in the car. I just wish it wasn't December. Would the 2025 Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, Officers, and Directors, as elected, please come to the stage as I call your name. Christopher Shane Tanner, President, Keller Williams Realty. Chris Venegas, President-elect, Keller Williams Realty. Helen Chan, Vice President, ERA Summit. Morgan Canaday, Past President, Ida Kelly Realtors. Jen Cody Martin, Treasurer, Gold Key Realty. Is Jen here? There's Jen. Jen has a beautiful new baby. 7 weeks old. Congratulations. 2025 GAAR Directors, Janet Burks, eXp Realty. She's got a fan club. Amanda Champagne, Dragonfly Capital Real Estate. Rick DeVos, Red Fox Realty. Shane Dolinsky, Realty One of New Mexico. Amy Neal, ERA Summit. Tori Robinson, Remax Elevate. Jacqueline Staton, Keller Williams Realty. Brian Steidel, Coldwell Banker Legacy. And last but certainly not least, Alice Tozer, another timeless treasure for GAAR, Keller Williams Realty. Dan, it's all yours.
All right. As officials of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, you are accepting a leadership position that is of utmost importance. You who will serve as officers and directors of your local board are considered to be the leaders in real estate. You are expected to be knowledgeable about the issues of the industry and the community you serve. Therefore, a great responsibility rests upon you. During the coming year, you will be identified as the official representatives of GAAR by the business community and government. In accepting this responsibility, you dedicate yourselves to work for the welfare of your fellow realtors, your community, your state, and the nation. In the coming year of leadership, you will enjoy many new and lasting friendships and will experience the personal satisfaction that comes only through service, cooperation, and unselfish interest on behalf of others. Your rewards will be great, a new secret of living that comes only to those who practice the art of giving. Please raise your right hand. And I'll say a bunch of stuff and then we'll say I do. All right. Do you solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you've been elected to the best of your ability and judgment in conformity with the governing documents of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, that you will observe and enforce the Realtor Code of Ethics, that you will uphold and support the New Mexico Real Estate Commission in its enforcement of the license law, that you will in all your acts be governed by the principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interest of our state, the high purposes of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors, and the welfare of its members. If you so affirm, please say, I will. I will. You may lower your hand. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim each of you to be duly installed into the office to which you have been elected. And will Morgan and Shane please stay up here on the stage? Here you go, guys.
All right. It's Dan. Oh, Dan.
All right, final thing. Shane, I'm honored to present you with your 2025 Board President pin. Thank you very much. Please wear it with pride and humility that comes with being the leader of an association, and congratulations.
That takes care of GAAR. As far as the induction goes, Dan, thank you for being here and helping us with that. Colleen and Hubert, it's always a pleasure to see the both of you. Now I will turn it over to Morgan. Yeah.
Thank you, Kent. As I put my stuff down. I am truly honored to be able to pass the torch, or gavel in this case, to your 2025 President, Shane. I am so looking forward to everything you're going to be able to achieve next year, especially with such a strong board behind you. So congratulations. Good. Oh.
Thank you so much, Morgan. I truly appreciate it. So it's hard for any of us to really understand, maybe Kathy, of course, but it's hard for a lot of us to understand what Morgan's gone through this year and the things that she's overcome. And there's a lot of times that it would have been really hard, and she could have easily been like, look, this is too much. I need to step away. I'm running a successful business. I've got a lot of other things going on. Most of us have no idea the extent of the things that go on in Morgan's life and her servitude, not only to this organization and the various other organizations, but all the other things that she does. Most people will never know. So thank you, Morgan, for everything that you've done. It's amazing the level of fortitude that you've had and the dedication that you've had, not only to GAAR Southwest MLS, but to your family and to just your clients. Just everything that you've done is truly impressive, and I'm so honored to serve with you and to have been your president-elect. Cool.
Thank you. Bill actually asked me this morning that if I knew everything that 2024 was going to entail, if I still would have raised my hand to be president. I certainly won't miss the angry phone calls. But it has truly been an honor and a privilege to watch this realtor family, I mean, that's what we are, help each other navigate all of this change together. We are competitors, sure, but at the end of the day, we need each other for our own success. So to watch everyone come together in this change has been incredible. I am so appreciative of this realtor family. And speaking of family, as Shane mentioned, this year has taken a lot away from other aspects of my life and my business. And I would not have been able to achieve everything I wanted to as president and dedicate as much time as necessary to helping you all through this change if it wasn't for my business partner. And I know she hates the attention, and she's probably going to start crying. But my mom is not only an incredible woman and role model and business partner, but she has been my #1 cheerleader through all of this. So I cannot thank you enough for this whole year. I just wanted to make her cry one more time. No, but truly, thank you all so much for everything. It has truly been an honor and a privilege, but I am very excited to be able to hand things over to your 2025 president to wrap up this business meeting, Mr. Christopher Shane Tanner.
All right, so I get to tell you all a little bit about my vision and some of the things that I want to do. So for a while now, it's the same old song and dance, right? I've been wanting to increase transparency, so that's something that I definitely intend to do, but not only through words, through action. I want to remind everybody here that you can attend our board meetings, and I encourage you to do so. If you want to speak at the meetings, just let us know ahead of time. We'll plug you into the schedule, and we'll make it happen. I don't want secret stuff, where, exec has, all the power and they're doing all these things behind the scenes. This is truly about our membership. This is about all of you. It's about us serving the public and serving our members. It's not about us. It's not about 5 people, in the exec making all these decisions. It's really about our members. So we want you there. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to know the challenges that you're facing. A lot of us are in the trenches too. We're selling houses. We're doing what we need to do to feed our families. But we want to hear the challenges that you're facing. We want to know what we can do to better serve you on a regular basis. And that's the #1 priority here, is serving you and serving the public. So please come to our meetings. Oh, in addition, I want to start doing recaps of our meetings. I won't make it long. It's not going to be 15, 20 minutes long. But after we have a meeting, I'm going to get with Laura Harris, who's amazing when it comes to our media. And we're going to do, hopefully me and Kathy, we're going to do a short synopsis of the things that are happening on a monthly basis so that you guys are aware. If you have questions, let us know. And I believe Belinda did something like this previously, and I want to bring it back. And that's going to increase our transparency. And that's going to make us more inclusive of the people who we're trying to serve here. This isn't about me. It's not about Morgan. It's not about any of these leaders. It's about our membership. And I'm very, very, very strong in that position. Sir, thank you for asking. We are going to put it on I would like to put it on our webpage, on the GAAR webpage. I'd like to put it on different social media outlets as well, and then hopefully also emailed. We've yet to iron everything out, but as long as Laura says that I'm okay, I don't want to commit to anything, and Laura tells me I'm a bad boy, so I don't want to do that. But that's what I would like to see. Honestly, I want to spread it as far as we can to get the most member engagement that we can. So that's my goal. Cool. Thanks, sir. In addition, we talked a couple times about this, but value proposition. I feel like there's so much out there that we have and that we offer that a lot of us don't even know about, right? So I look at the numbers of people who regularly utilize the tools that are being offered by Southwest MLS and by GAAR. And, if you compare it to other organizations, we're actually doing quite well with things like Forewarn and Rental Beast and stuff like that, but there are so many resources. So what I also want to commit to is showing you guys what resources you already have available to you and showcasing those resources, because, if you've got a Ferrari in the garage and then you never drive it, who cares, right? So use it. There's amazing things out there that we pay for with member dues to provide those resources for you. But again, if it's not being utilized, it's a waste. So I think we really need to look at that and find a way to show you guys what's available. So I'm committed to doing that as well. Let's see here. Oh, and again, this isn't about a title. Being president is a true honor of GAAR. And it's not at all about a title. I take it, I'm a retired Air Force First Sergeant, and I take it very seriously. This isn't about me. This is about what I can try to do to help our membership, and that's all that matters here. So in 2025, if I can help our membership to be in a better position than it is today, then I feel like I've completed the mission. So I appreciate you all.
One more plug before he wraps the gavel. $50 for every $50 that you donate to the Realtor Fund today, or that you've donated anytime in 2024, you'll be entered into a $500 gift card to Southwest Airlines drawing that will take place at our giving lunch.
Awesome. All right, so I'm new to this, so thank you, Morgan. So the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors annual meeting is now adjourned. So now if we could get Sherry Fowler to the stage. Thank you, Sherry. Yes, ma'am.
Before I call the Southwest MLS meeting to order, I'd like to introduce someone to you. As everyone here probably knows, we lost Richard Gibbons he moved on to bigger and better things. But I'd like to introduce Jeanette Davidson, who is our new Southwest MLS director. I now call the Southwest MLS meeting to order. Thank you for being here today. Please review the 2023 annual meeting minutes, which are available through the QR code on your table. Do I have a motion for approval? Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Every Southwest MLS volunteer contributes their time and talent to the success of our mission. I deeply appreciate each person who has served this year, and it's my pleasure to recognize and thank the following individuals for their dedication and success of the Southwest MLS. A heartfelt thank you to Southwest MLS committee chairs. Your professionalism and leadership are integral to our success. We couldn't function without your dedication. We have a small token of appreciation for each of the committee chairs. And would you please stand if you've been a committee chair this year? Yay. So we have a small token of appreciation for each of the committee chairs. Please stop by the registration table to pick up yours. And before we proceed with the installation of the 2025 Board of Directors, I'd like to recognize those who have served as Southwest MLS directors in the past presidents. Please stand. Finally, a special thank you to our outgoing directors. Please join me on the stage as I call your name to receive a small token of appreciation for your dedicated service. Kay Asbill, Jeanette Raver, Tigo Venturi, We will now begin the installation of our 2025 officers and directors. Kent and Christopher Shane Tanner, please join me on the stage.
All right. Will the 2025 Southwest MLS Board of Directors come to the stage as your name is called, where you will be installed by the 2025 GAAR President, Christopher Shane Tanner. I am happy to announce the following individuals who will serve as the 2025 Southwest MLS Officers and Board of Directors. 2025 officers: Kathy Colvin, President, Vista Encantada Realtors. Terry Hatcher, President-elect, Realty One of New Mexico. Sherry Fowler, past president, Realty One of New Mexico. Belinda Franco, treasurer, Real Broker. Christopher Shane Tanner, GAAR president, Keller Williams Realty. 2025 Southwest MLS directors: Linda Coy, Realty One of New Mexico. Jean Duran, Realty One of New Mexico. Mary Kay Gutierrez, Coldwell Banker Legacy. Joe Lamastra, Real ABQ. Sue Leidig, Waterstone Mortgage. Sue, incidentally, is filling a brand new spot. It's our first non-realtor member of our Southwest MLS board, and she's a welcome. As a lender, she's most certainly welcome and valuable to our board. So I just wanted to make that mention. Yeah, you can give her a hand. She's great. We also serve on the New Mexico Biopark Society board together, and that's fun to be able to mix things up with Sue every now and then. She's a good kid. Greg Moody, Moody's Appraisal Service. Another unicorn. We need appraisers on the board. Mary Romero, Realty One Group Concierge. Sam Sandoval, Keys to New Mexico. Michelle Smith, Coldwell Banker Legacy. And Ann Vallejos, Keller Williams Realty. Shane? Shane, it's all you.
All right, so it is now my honor and pleasure to perform the installation ceremony. Sorry. Okay, no, it's all good. So as the elected officials of Southwest MLS, you are accepting leadership which is of utmost importance. You who have been elected this year to serve as leaders of Southwest MLS have a great responsibility upon you. During the coming year, you will be identified as the official representatives of Southwest MLS by your community and must therefore conduct yourselves accordingly. In accepting this role, you dedicate yourselves to work for the welfare of your fellow realtors, your community, your state, and your nation. In the coming year of leadership, you will experience personal satisfaction that comes only through service, cooperation, and an unselfish interest on behalf of others. Will you please raise your right hand? And it'll be very similar to what Dan said, so at the very end. You do solemnly and sincerely promise and swear that you will administer the office to which you have been elected to the best of your ability and judgment, in conformity with the bylaws of Southwest MLS, that you will observe and enforce the Code of Ethics of the National Association of Realtors, that you will uphold and support the New Mexico Real Estate Commission and its enforcement of licensed law, that you will uphold and support the bylaws, policies, and rules and regulations of Southwest MLS, and that in all of your acts be governed by principles of honesty, justice, and fair play, and in every manner possible, endeavor to promote and safeguard the best interests of our state, the high purposes of your association, and the welfare of its membership. If you so affirm, please say, "I will." You may lower your hands. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I do hereby proclaim each of you to be duly installed into the office of which you have been elected. Congratulations. So now there'll be a transition of presidents. So Sherry and Kathy, please join me at the podium. So it has truly been an honor to perform your board installation, and now to present Kathy with her 2025 Southwest MLS President's Pin, which Kathy has done so much throughout the years at local, state, and national level. It's a little ironic, but but I'll still do it.
I'll put it on because I have a high collar. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. So Kathy, congratulations on stepping into this vitally important role and continuing your strong leadership tradition of the Southwest MLS.
Kathy, thank you for everything you have done to support me this year. I know that Southwest MLS is in very capable hands with you at the leadership next year, and I will do anything in my power to be there to support your role as president of Southwest MLS. Please accept this gavel as a symbol of the position you are assuming.
Thank you so much, Sherry. For those of you who don't know, when Sherry calls the meetings to order, she slams the gavel down really hard and scares me every single time. And I was even prepared over there when Shane did it, and I still got startled. So, Sherry, I want to thank you for for being president in 2024. Sherry was the president of GAAR during COVID, so she got, kind of cheated out of some of the fun stuff that happens with being the president. But this year, she also had challenges being president of Southwest MLS. Obviously, the settlement agreement we all had to deal with, and then Pookie leaving us. So let me share who that is. That's Richard Gibbons. So we were at a meeting one time, an exec meeting, and Nick Fowler kept referring to Rich, and I'm like, who's Rich? And he said, Richard. And I said, oh, we have nicknames? And so I started calling Richard Pookie, and it stuck. So every time I see him, even now, I will refer to him as Pookie in front of his new board, which is he looks like, oh my gosh, here she comes. He's going to head the other direction. But thank you on behalf of the membership. I know you've had a tough year with Richard leaving, finding a replacement for him, and with the settlement agreement. So we all thank you for your dedication and your service. And here's a plaque to commemorate your year as president. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. I got to pull this back up because she's short.
Not that much.
Not that much. This year, we as an MLS have experienced uncharted waters and have navigated several unique challenges. But we have shown how determined and resilient we are, and together we are forging our new way forward. Thank you for allowing me to serve as your 2024 Southwest MLS president. I will now happily turn the meeting over to Kathy, our 2025 Southwest president.
Thank you. So I just want to thank everybody for helping this year, and I also want to, like I mentioned earlier in a speech, we're looking for good volunteers for our committees for Southwest MLS. So as Morgan mentioned, she had an incredibly challenging year. So thank you again, Morgan. And she handled it like a trooper. She was amazing, and all of us owe extreme gratitude to you for all you did for us this year. It was a very, very tough year, so thank you, thank you. For 2025, we're just going to keep focusing on what's happening at the national level with the lawsuits and settlement agreements. The next big thing we're working on and seeing how it's going to play out is clear cooperation, and see how that works out. We went to CMLS in Seattle in September, and there's people on both sides of that issue. Some want to keep it, some don't, and it's going to be a challenge this year to see how that kind of plays out. So we're going to kind of wait and see how that plays out, navigate through all the changes, like I said, and we're focusing on offering. Shane mentioned numerous things that Southwest MLS offers, but we're not looking to just expand and have a huge plethora of offerings. We want quality and good things that you all will use, because we're not going to waste your money, your dues dollars, on things that just a handful of members use. So just know we're good stewards of your money, and we will make it through, and thank you all again. And so I adjourn the meeting, and I'm going to lightly tap the gavel. There we go. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy, and congratulations on stepping back in as president and your work at NAR, and the fact that it's your birthday today and you're here, so thank you. A couple quick reminders before we break for lunch. Again, for every $50 donated to the Realtor Fund, go see the table outside. You enter into a chance of winning a $500 Southwest Airlines gift card. So make sure to do that before the line gets too long. We are now ready for lunch in the hallway. There are 4 lines. Oh, she's saying no. We run a tight ship here, and we are never ahead of schedule, and I will take full credit for getting done early. You all are welcome. Okay, so in 5 minutes, there will be 4 lines available at the buffet for lunch. Please get your food, come back in. We will, once lunch is served, in about 30 minutes from that point, we will start the Giving Lunch presentation. So take your seats, eat your food, enjoy some networking, and then we will be back up here to see you soon. Thank you. How was lunch? Good? Awesome. All right, if everyone could take our seats, we will get our Giving Lunch going. Thank you all for being here today, and welcome to our annual Giving Lunch. This is one of my favorite things that we get to do every year, so thank you for sticking around and being here with us. We're going to take a few minutes to highlight the impact that we as a Realtor family have had on our community this year. Realtors are such a generous and kind group of people. In addition to monetary donations, we all volunteer our time and energy on an annual basis for worthy causes. The Young Professional Network, YPN, make some noise if you are a part of that, maybe? Anyone? Yes? They do a really incredible initiative every year called Laundry Love. It's an annual project to collect enough laundry detergent, bleach, dryer sheets, and donations to wash over 4,700 loads of laundry for low-income and homeless families. So really, really incredible. Also, every year for the last 30-plus years, GAAR members have woken up before the sun is out to support the Albuquerque Biopark's annual fundraiser, the Run for the Zoo, and Walk for Us Too. This year, over 220 GAAR volunteers, affiliate, and family members showed up and kept almost 8,000 runners and walkers safe for that event. So great job with that, too. Another incredible community at GAAR is our GAAR Ambassadors Program, or also known as GAP. And they held their annual back-to-school backpack drive and collected a record 1,421 backpacks for APS students. And this, well, I guess 2 months ago now, Make a Difference Day in October had our members donating their time and labor to help last year's Realtor Fund grant recipient, the New Mexico Dream Center. So great job on that as well. And it is not too late to continue giving back to our community this year. First mostly, the Angel Tree Project, which, again, please visit the tree out in the hall. Last year and every year, your donations make the holidays brighter for unhoused APS students and their families, so please consider giving back to those in need this year. Again, I want to recognize Jamie Gilmore Daniels. She does an incredible job organizing that program every year for these kiddos. And YPN as well for assisting in delivering the gifts to APS. So thank you both for that. And I will pass the mic over to Shane to talk about the Realtor Fund.
Thank you so much, Morgan. So I'm going to slightly derail us just for a second. There's two people I wanted to talk a little bit about. Chris Venegas is our incoming president, so he's our president-elect. So Chris, if you've got a second, if you could come up, I'd like you to talk a little bit about being president-elect, what that means to you. Also, we want to honor and thank Carrie Traub. She was our president in 2023. She was our past president this year. She did have a couple things, some somewhat major things occur in her life where she was unable to complete the president-elect term, but she put a lot of effort and work and time and blood, sweat, and literally tears went into her leadership at GAAR. So I just want to say thank you so much to Carrie. So thank you, Carrie. We truly appreciate you. And yeah, so Chris, last year, I think I got to say a little bit. I think I did the invocation. And my buddy Chris hasn't said anything yet, but he's super important to me. And I'm excited to see him grow through his leadership and things like that. So if you want to say a couple words, Chris.
Thank you, Shane. The lunch was fantastic, by the way. We give a round of applause for lunch, too. Really looking forward to this coming year. I think our association's looking really bright with our leadership between GAAR and our Southwest MLS too. And a really big shout out to our GAAR staff. They don't get applauded enough, so quick shout out to GAAR. So thank you everyone for the opportunity. Enjoy the rest of the day. And don't forget about tomorrow. We'll see you all tomorrow for the free CE.
Awesome. For those of you that don't know, the Realtor Fund of the Greater Albuquerque Association of Realtors was founded in 2011. And the goal at the time was knowing that we as realtors, affiliates, the real estate industry, give back so much every year. And we knew that that impact could be multiplied if we came together to make an even more significant impact on our industry. We had an initial goal of reaching $1 million by 2021. We did that 3 years early, and the fund now sits at $1.88 million today. So truly incredible. We could not be where we are today, able to give a $45,000 grant to a local nonprofit without the help of our affiliates, our sponsors. If you've come to here today at the annual meeting, if you've come to our GAAR golf tournament, our awards gala, our bowl-a-thon, our battle of the bands, any participation in any of our events, and also please direct donations to make such an impact and helps us be able to achieve that. Not only are we in a position now to be able to give that annual grant to a local nonprofit, but 2 years ago we created the Realtor Fund Emergency Relief Fund. We here in New Mexico are so negatively impacted by natural disasters, especially fires and floods. And we as a Realtor Fund committee wanted to be able to make an impact on our fellow New Mexicans when they were going through such awful times. So we created an emergency relief fund that sits at $50,000, and we're able to immediately, with board approval, provide assistance and donations to those in need. So this year we were able to give $25,000 from that emergency relief fund to Ruidoso and an additional $10,000 to Roswell for those impacted by the flooding. On top of that, as the fires were, the news of the fires was coming in, I went to our incredible staff and I said, people are asking how we can give, and we want to give not just our money, but donations. And our incredible staff at GAAR stepped up and helped us load 2 26-foot moving trucks full of donations to those affected by the Ruidoso wildfires. So not only did we as realtors come together and affiliates, but I know a lot of you reached out to your extended networks to get even more donations. So they were so unbelievably grateful for the impact that we were able to have on them. So thank you so much for that. And I will now pass the mic back to Shane. Oh, where did he go? Oh.
So I'd now like to thank today's table sponsors, whose $250 went directly to support the Realtor Fund. Please have your table stand when you hear your name. So we'll start with Nusenda Credit Union, and that is our 2024 Diamond sponsor. Thank you so much, guys. Your contributions mean a ton to us. Thank you. And we've got Realty One of New Mexico, Terry Hatcher. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. ERA Summit, Bridget Gilbert and Laura Gardner. Awesome. EXP Realty, Janet Burks. Waterstone Mortgage. Thank you, guys. Vista Encantada Realtors, Megan England. Thank you so much. Realty One of New Mexico, Jean Duran. Thank you. Ida Kelly Realtors, Ida and Channing Kelly. Thank you. Realty One of New Mexico, Rock and Jess Villa Gomez. Thanks so much. And we've got Coldwell Banker Legacy, Rosie Harmon. Who's not here, sadly, but everyone else is here, so that's good. All right.
As mentioned before, your sponsorship here today and our sponsors for our annual events that benefit the Realtor Fund every year make all of this possible. So to highlight a few, our 2024 awards gala was a neon-themed celebration to honor our members' professional achievements. So with all of your help and support, we were able to raise $15,000 for the fund at that event. Our golf tournament is our premier and, without any argument, funnest event every year. And we were able to bring in an outstanding $46,000 at this year's golf tournament. Every October, we rent out all of Silva Lanes for our bowl-a-thon. If you have not been, it is trying to beat out the golf tournament for the funnest event and getting there. And we were able to raise $11,000 at that event for the Realtor Fund. Again, these events would not be possible without the unwavering support of the brokerages, the affiliates that sponsor every year our annual sponsorship packages and individual events, as well as all of our individual donors. So thank you all so much for making this possible. And with that, we have some fun.
All right, so as part of our Giving Luncheon tradition, we recognize and award one local charity a sum of $45,000 as a grant, and we'll recognize the 2024 GAAR Good Neighbors. So, this year, the Realtor Fund Committee received and vetted 38 grant applications from local nonprofit organizations. So as you can imagine, that takes a ton of time and effort to go through all of those and try to pick one winner. So thank you so much for the time and effort that goes into that. The committee narrowed the applications down to their top 3 charities, who were then invited to make a presentation to the board of directors. So that's always, a real tearjerker, because everyone's in so much need, and there's so much, desire for help out there, especially here in New Mexico. So, but unfortunately, we can only give it to one very deserving charity. So. I'm proud to announce that the Realtor Fund grant recipient for the $45,000 grant is the Heart Gallery of New Mexico Foundation. The Heart Gallery was originally founded in New Mexico in 2002, and the concept worked so well that it has spread to all 50 states and internationally. So that's pretty amazing, something that's homegrown here in New Mexico and has such an impact. So thousands of foster children have found safe, loving, forever homes as a result. And we have an awesome video to kind of view to tell us a little bit more about the Heart Gallery.
Hi, my name is William Holland. I am currently 22 years old, and I currently aged out of the foster care system.
My name is Gabriella Brown. I go by Ella because Gabriella is too long. And I'm 21 years old, and I'm part of the aged out foster care system.
I'm Kirsten Johnson, and I want to thank the Realtor Fund for this amazing grant that you've given to the Heart Gallery, which through the Heart Gallery goes directly to the aged out foster children.
When I turned 18, it was really scary for myself. Growing up in the foster care system, you just bounce from foster home, group home to group home. So you kind of just get used to bouncing everywhere. But once you turn 18, you're basically on your own. You have a choice that COFT can still help you, but it's just a very scary transition. Yeah.
For a very long time, my main goal was to be adopted by somebody that would love me for who I was and not try to change me or over-medicate me or tell me that they could fix me and make me normal, which I get a lot. Because when you age out of foster care, you're not like other people. You're not normal.
The Heart Gallery actually helps me out a whole lot with schooling when I can't afford my textbooks or can't afford like notebooks, pens, school supplies. Heart Gallery usually steps in, and I'm very grateful of that, especially right now. I lost my housing, and the Heart Gallery has really helped me put me in a hotel and actually keep me from shelter and stuff. Especially it's snowing outside today and raining all this week. It's really nice just to sleep somewhere till I figure out my housing situation.
The Heart Gallery has given me a place to go whenever I need help. They have been there for me almost consistently since I've turned 18 years old. The holiday parties each year give me something to go and do and celebrate and feel happy about Christmas with. And we can go and just be a big family and actually celebrate the holidays like they're supposed to be celebrated.
My holiday meals used to be like a Hungry Man, where it wasn't a lot, but it was cheap enough because I really didn't have a family to spend the holidays with. So basically I just went to Walmart, put something in the microwave, and that was basically my holiday. So yeah, it was really heartbroken and sad, but you just get used to it after a while, and it really meant a lot to me when the Heart Gallery stepped in, and especially with our donors, that we actually have a holiday to look forward to each year. We can actually have that little joy that we really don't have. It just means a whole lot.
Thank you, Heart Gallery, for everything that you've done. You have made me feel like I mean something in this world.
So it's really, really helpful that people like our donors and stuff donate, so we actually have that opportunity to become successful in life.
And the fact that through this grant, we can help them know that they matter and give them opportunities is the most amazing gift in the world.
I make sure that the people in my life feel loved because I know what it was like to not feel loved.
Just knowing there's support there and people who actually love you and care for you, it's just a good feeling.
Wow, that was pretty moving. But it's now my pleasure to invite Kirsten Johnston of the Heart Gallery of the the Heart Gallery of New Mexico Foundation to the stage so we can present the 2024 Realtor Fund grant of $45,000.
this is very moving for me. As an adopted child myself, I understand the good fortune that I had, that somebody took me in. And I understand, too, that the first roll of the dice that we have in life is where, when, and to whom we're born. These children had no control over that. And I think at the very base of a human need is to know that you matter to someone. And the goal of the Heart Gallery is to help these children know that they matter in the world. And through this grant, we can do that. And I am so very grateful to the realtors, to your generous hearts, and to the Realtor Fund. They are amazing. Thank you.
For those that don't know, the incredible Kirsten Johnson is not only an incredible advocate for foster youth in our community and a volunteer at the Heart Gallery, but she is also a realtor. And you make every single person in this room proud. So thank you. Whew. Good. Every fall, we nominate GAAR realtors and affiliates as good neighbors. A good neighbor is someone who, through their volunteerism of time, talents, and treasure, make an exceptional impact on our community. This year, I am so proud to announce that there are 5 2024 GAAR Good Neighbors. Along with getting a $1,000 grant to support their charity, each good neighbor and their respective charity will be featured in public-focused marketing campaigns designed to create awareness of these worthy organizations and their mission. They will be featured in print ads, a digital campaign, and in an interview on New Mexico Living segment on KRQE TV to promote that realtors not only provide value and commitment to our community, but the importance of the nonprofit that they volunteer for. As I call your name, please make your way to the stage, and if a representative of your nonprofit is here with you, please bring them along for a group photo. Chad and Dana Ackenhead, Simply Real Estate. Supporting Presbyterian Ear Institute. Tracy Denton with Realty One of New Mexico, supporting Austin Denton Foundation. Rosemary Freeland with Realty One Group Concierge, supporting Rio Grande Valley Blue Star Mothers. Ida Kelly with Ida Kelly Realtors, supporting Eisenhower Community Service Club. Adoni and Mandisa Ratheni, I know I should know that by now, I'm so sorry. Simply Real Estate, the Juneteenth Renaissance Institute. Perfect. I messed up your last name, I'm sorry.
My timing was back. Rosemary Freeland.
Everyone face Sarah. Thank you all so much. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for not only the support that you have for these local nonprofits, but making realtors look good in the community, so thank you. Huge congratulations to all 5 charities with Realtor Fund grants and to the Heart Gallery of New Mexico as well. So, great job. Okay, this right now is your final chance to donate to the Realtor Fund to win a $500 Southwest Airlines gift card. I have my volunteers somewhere. Paging Antoinette and Belinda. Make yourselves, oh, who, is it Antoinette? Can we, Melody, do you know where they are? Volunteers to sell last minute raffle tickets? Okay. I love that. Please raise your hand, scream, yell, do something if you want to buy some door prize tickets. Our wonderful CFO is wandering around with a square reader. Da-da. Okay, while they are doing that, I'll a few more things. Just a reminder, tomorrow at GAAR, you have the opportunity for free continuing education. As mentioned this morning, the morning session is already sold out, but you still have the opportunity to sign up for the afternoon session. It will be from 1 to 4 p.m. Lunch will be provided. I know how much realtors love free food. And the CE will be on ethical behavior in a wired world. A very important reminder that the current 3-year ethics cycle ends on December 31st. Every realtor is required to complete an ethics course within the cycle. The afternoon class tomorrow, being held at GAAR for free, will satisfy that requirement. So if you have not signed up yet, if you are one of the way too many realtors that has not gotten your ethics done yet and waiting until the final hour, that is a fantastic opportunity to do so. It looks like they are still wandering around. I just want to thank everyone who has volunteered for the Realtor Fund. For those that don't know, I will give my mother another shout out. That was her brainchild over 10 years ago. And with the support of the board at the time and the continued support of the board to this day, and all of you here in this room, as you saw today, the impact that we are capable of having to those that need it most in our community because of your generosity is incredible. So thank you so much for that. Belinda, I'm gonna need a dad joke. We're stalling. All right, no dirty jokes. Cool. I'll find some. Just gonna Google some jokes real quick. Everyone's just trying to get me in trouble on my last month as president. I love that. Yes, please. Let's do this.
Okay. 2 electric windmills are sitting in a field together. One says to the other, "Hey, what kind of music do you like?" And the other says, "Well, I'm a huge metal fan."
Do you have a joke? Yeah, come on, bring it down. Let's get a line going.
You know why Peter Pan is always flying, never stops flying? Because he comes from a place called Neverland. And the best thing about that joke, it never grows old.
All right, we're still going. Why do cows have hooves? They lactose. Lactose. What do you call a deer with no eyes? No idea. What do you call a deer with no legs and no eyes? Still no idea. I'm apologizing in advance for handing the microphone to Jean Duran.
You all that know and love me know I cannot go through a whole meeting and keep my mouth shut, right? And those that don't love me, well, I'm sorry. But I just wanted to share with you guys that last night I had the most terrible night. I could not sleep. I kept tossing and turning. I tried melatonin. I tried, my husband. And so the reason I look so tired today is because I'm just exhausted. You don't get it? Oh, back it up. What I was dreaming about all night and having a nightmare was that I was a muffler, and I woke up exhausted. Okay, now you get it. Did we kill enough time? I can keep going.
Jean Duran, everyone. Let's see. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? You follow the Fresh Prince. Wow, really losing you guys. Okay. So I went to a beekeeper, and I asked for a dozen bees. He brought them out, and I counted them. There was 13. I told him I asked for 12. He said, "There's one freebie." Ouch. All right. Anyone else? No? Still going. Hey, I appreciate all the donations to the Realtor Fund. I can't really be mad about this, but if anyone else has a joke, yeah, let's hear it.
What does the nosy pepper do? It gets jalapeno business.
I love it. I love it. Man, that was good. Love it. Any others? Oh, Doug's coming back up. All right. Like to see it.
Sorry, I can't help myself, but keep selling the tickets. So, but I heard some good advice recently that I've been trying to share with people. You know why you should never pick a fight with a dinosaur? Because you would most likely get your ass kicked.
Is that you saying we're done? Heck yeah. I will have my dear sweet mother join me on stage to draw the name so I don't get in trouble with any of you when you don't win. It's Chris's fault, not mine. Thank you.
So I always dump the tickets out all over the place.
Just grab one, you're good. I'll read it. Thank you. Okay. Your winner is ticket 1688083. Do we have a winner? Do I see a winner? Yay! Come on up. Wonderful, Miss Sarah Lewis. Congratulations, Miss Lewis. All right, with that, we are done. So much. Again, it's truly been an honor and a privilege to be your president. And from this point forward, if you have a complaint, call Shane. If you have a compliment, my phone still works. Thank you.